All right, welcome everybody. My name is Earle Harrison, National Account Manager for Selvis BLV, proud distributors of HIMS products. Today we've got Randy On, CEO of Selvis BLV, which is just a name of the company here distributing HIMS products in North America. We have Kayla O'Connor here, who is our marketing and education coordinator, and she will be moderating today's event. And we've got the good fortune of having Jenny Axler from the HIMS International team here. You think you want to say hi, Jenny? She didn't know I was going to ask her to say hi.
Hi, everyone. He's right. I wasn't expecting that, so I wasn't ready. So I was muted. But no, I appreciate getting the chance to be here and to hear your feedback and what you all think of this new update.
So without further ado, I think we'll just go ahead and get started here. We do have some things pre-recorded, so we're going to go ahead and play the videos. And at the end of the video, we will come in and have a little dialogue and kind of set up the next video. So enjoy. This section is on the user interface and the rearranging of it. Those of you who are used to using the BrailleSense 6
File Manager, F.
are used to that. Certainly when you press F1, it's the first item in the main menu called File Manager. If you down arrow one time, usually what you would see is word processor and then notepad, that type of thing. But what we've done is we've really consolidated everything into their own folders. So there are no applications that can be launched from the main menu here. Don't panic, because there are still the good old hotkeys that help us to launch our applications that have not changed for several iterations of the BrailleSense. But for now, let's just kind of down arrow through the list here.
Office Tools, T.
Of folders. So nothing but folders in the main menu. And by down arrow, I mean space with dot 4.
Media, M. Library, L. Organizer, O. Web Tools, B. Extras, X. Utilities, U. Clock and Timer, K. Settings, S. Help and Information, H. Android Apps, A. Optional Add-ons, N. Favorite Apps, V.
So a lot of legacy commands that you've been used to forever with a Braille tablet like this is space with dots 1, 2, 3 to move to the top.
File Manager, F.
And again, we can always get to File Manager at the beginning of the main menu by pressing F1, or we can press space 4, 5, 6 to get to the
Favorite
end.
Apps, V.
And I hear V would have opened the favorite apps here from the main menu, but there's also a hotkey set up
File Manager, F.
for that, back up to the top. And if I press the Control key to the left of the space bar in combination with F1,
Favorite App, Podcast 19 list item.
that also gets me into my favorite apps, in which I have podcasts.
To-Do List 29 list item. Audible 39 list item. Bart Braille 49 list item. Bard Mobile 5.9 list item. Netflix 6.9 list item. Wells Fargo 7.9 list item. YouTube Music 8.9 list item. Zoom 9.9 list item.
Okay, so you can literally put anything you want into this favorites folder, any application that you want. It doesn't matter if it's a Google application, a HIMS developed application, or a third-party application. It's all done from within the menu manager under settings. So let's go ahead and go back out to the main menu here, and let's just kind of explore some of these other folders.
File Manager, F.
Okay, F1, I'm in down arrow.
Office Tools, T.
And let's check out what's in Office Tools.
Word Processor, W.
So you hear Word Processor, used to be in the main menu.
Notepad, N.
Same with Notepad. And you hear that they have the same exact hotkeys associated with them that they've had forever.
Email, E. Excel Viewer, X.
And what this means is that I can go back to my main menu.
File Manager, F.
Or I can be anywhere, really. And because I know that the letter N is the hotkey to launch the notepad. I can just press F1 with the letter N.
Task name, Notepad.
Same with
Top of document.
Same with the word processor.
Task name, Word processor.
How about
Top of document.
how about Google search?
Task name, Google search.
Email.
Hermetic box. Task name, email. Google 1-2 getting new message list.
Okay, and I would defy anybody to get
Unread
to
your score, Jane.
applications on any other device quicker than I just did. And if I want to move between these different applications, I can press F2 and F3 together, kind of functions as a Alt tab or a Command tab on the Mac,
Task name, Notepad.
Alt tab on the Windows.
Task name, Word processor. Blank. Task name, Google search. Task name, email. Unread your score. Task name, Notepad.
Okay, so those are all my applications. If I want to get a list of these applications, I can press F1 and F4 together.
Task name, Notepad 1-4 list item.
And now I've kind of got this task list, kind of a app switcher experience where I can up and down with space F1 and space, not F1, dot 1, and space dot 4.
Word processor 2-4 list item.
And if I want to close the word processor without saving anything, I can just press space D.
Task name, Google search 2-3 list item.
And here I've got 3 items open. I'm going to go back to
File manager,
the
F.
main menu, and I'm going to press space with Enter D.
Close all apps. File manager,
Space
F.
Enter D closes all open applications, so now I don't have anything open. I'm back at the file manager, rather the first thing in the main menu, which is the file manager, where we can go in and view our flash disk, SD card, the cloud services that are supported within the file manager, including Dropbox, OneDrive, and Google Drive.
Office tools, T.
And we've seen Office tools.
Media, M.
Media. And there's not much new in there. I will mention that there is a new AI component to the podcast application where if you go in there and launch the podcast and you conduct a search, it is now indexed in such a way that as you bring up your list of whatever you're looking for, one good example would be Access On was a confusing one for folks because there were a lot of podcasts out there with those words in them. So I did a search for Access On. I can down arrow and then tab into the window where it tells me about what the podcast is all about. And in the case of Access On, the host of the program, Jonathan Mosen, I knew that was the correct one, so I could add that to my feed list. Also, we have the video search utility, which allows you to conduct searches without the hindrance of advertisements or scrolling banners and things like what's hot and what's new and what's popular and all those things that you may or may not care about. So all that is in the media folder, including, of course, the media player itself, web radio, FM radio, etc.
Library, L.
Here in library, I'll press enter.
Daisy player, D.
And just go on down through here.
Document reader, K. Online Daisy, O. Bookshare download, B. Sense dictionary, D. Sense Bible, S. Bard Braille, R. NFB Newsline, N.
Okay, so that's the last thing in my library folder, and some of these applications are applications that you can choose to download through the optional downloads area. I'm going to press backspace one time because when I do that,
Library, L.
it brings me out to the main menu, but doesn't shoot me all the way to the top of the main menu to hear File Manager again. It just brings me back to where I was in the menu.
Organizer, O.
Got our organizer here. We've got our address book, our schedule manager, to-do list database.
Web tools, B.
There's web tools. We'll get back to that.
Extras, X. Utilities, U.
No, the extras, utilities.
Clock and timer, K. Settings, S. Help and information, H. Android apps, A.
Okay. So let's go ahead and go back to
Help and setting. Clock and timer. Utilities. U. Extras. X. Web tools. B.
Now let's go to Web Tools. I'll press Enter here.
Web browser V2. B.
So at the top of here, we've got something brand new, is the much-awaited web browser. We also have
Google search. G.
that Google search that I launched earlier with the hotkey F1G.
Wiki search. W.
Wiki search.
Web browser V1. E. BrailleSense chat GPT. C.
Okay, so here we had web browser V1 as well. And so we're going to keep it in there for a while. I'm going to press backspace to return to the main menu where I came in.
Web tools. B.
There's Web Tools.
Extras.
Let's
X.
see what's in Extras.
Braille Practice. B.
So there's the Braille Practice application, which is fantastic. We utilize Braille learning tables, and we're going to be actually talking about that on its own in a little while.
Sense Brain Game. A.
And we've got some other games in here to help to promote the learning and teaching
Sense Dice Game.
of
Right.
Braille.
Sense Roulette Game. R. Extras. X.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go down here.
Utilities. U. Clock and timer. K.
Clock and timer. This is where we have
Display time and date. D.
the display time and date. Of course, that hotkey is spaced with the letter T, but we also have
Set time and date. T.
the option to set time and date.
World clock. O.
Their world clock.
Wake up alarm. A.
Everything having to do with
Stopwatch. W.
clocks and timers.
Sleep timer. J.
I'm going to get out of here. Backspace.
Clock and timer. K. Settings. S.
Settings. Now, this is
Braille options. B.
also new and rearranged because it used to be you would press space O, which is the hotkey to get into settings, and you'd be faced with this never-ending list of things that you can do, and they were somewhat random, but you could do them. And in this case now, we've got them kind of categorized. So we've got Braille options,
Voice options.
voice
V.
options,
General options. O.
general options.
Setup internet. I.
And we've got things like setup internet,
Bluetooth manager. R. Menu manager. M. Backup restore BrailleSense settings. K. Password protection. A. Initialize BrailleSense options. C.
so
Reinstall default apps. N.
the initial list that you are presented with on getting into the settings dialog is way, way shorter
Braille learning tables. T.
because of the reorganization of and breaking things down into categories.
Language profiles. L.
That's
Android backup reset. S.
Okay.
Android system settings. E.
and perhaps we'll do some more consolidating as time goes on. I'm going to press backspace to return to the main menu where I came in.
Settings. S. Help and information. H.
Help and information.
Quick start guide. Q.
The quick start guide, which is the first thing you see when you get your brand spanking new BrailleSense 6 and you turn it on. This is what comes up to kind of give you an orientation to the device. I'll go down.
User guide. H.
Here's the user guide, which is literally the manual. Very well done, and kudos to Jenny Axler for taking it on, because with all the rearrangement of the user interface and the settings, had to include the rearrangement of the technical documentation, which has had to take literally days.
Latest release note. R.
And here's the latest release notes. So if you don't think to save your release notes when you're, after you look at them and when you do the updates, you can always come in here and take a look.
View device name. D. Information about the BrailleSense. I.
And here's information about the BrailleSense, where we have information like the firmware version, etc. Of course, firmware version, we've got a hotkey to get us there, which is spaced with the letter V.
BrailleSense 6 SW there 3.0. Build 20,200,000.
And of course, with this whole rearranging of the furniture, we've got BrailleSense version 3.0. So with that, Jenny, I would like to invite you in to see if you have any comments on things I may have left out or things that I may have plain got wrong.
I don't think there's anything wrong. The only thing that I did want to mention is you did mention that the video search was in the media menu, and that is where it goes when it is installed from the optional add-ons. However, in this version of the firmware, it's actually included in the shipping firmware. So I think it might still be updatable via the optional add-ons, but you won't need to reinstall it at this point.
Okay, good to know. We'll just go ahead and keep moving on, keep on keeping on here. So this brings us to the Braille Practice application, which Jenny had much to do with in terms of, it used to be in Korean, right? And then you did a lot of the localization work for it, for UEB. Is that correct?
They had a basic version of English practice in the Korean version. So basically, I just corrected it and expanded it by about 8 categories. So,
All right.
yes.
Very cool. Well, let's check it out.
At the top of the Extras menu, we have a new application called Braille Practice. Now, this is a general categorical kind of review and practice. It does not follow any specific lesson series or Braille tutorial course. This might be appropriate after a student has completed a group of lessons, say on all the single character contractions, or maybe you want to use it to introduce electronic Braille into the equation. They will probably start with hard copy, but at some point you'll probably want to transition them to electronic Braille. And this might be a good way to review what they've learned as well as to sort of introduce them to using a device like this. It might also even be useful for an adult who has not used contracted Braille heavily or wants to review what is implemented in the UEB Braille code that is not implemented in, say, like the English American Braille edition, for example. I know it's been about a decade, but I would venture that there are some of us who are still transitioning. Either way, as I mentioned, this is a general practice tool right now. It is very possible that we will add to and build on this, but for now, let's take a look at it. I am at the main menu, so I'll press X for Extras.
Braille Practice, B.
And Braille Practice is the first item here, so I'll press Enter to open it.
Welcome to Braille Practice. Please enable speech for best results. Choose from the following categories. Letters, speech only, 112 list item.
You'll notice that it asks you to enable speech for best results, as some people do choose to use the unit with Braille only. And after it announced the first category, which is letters, it also announced that it uses speech only. For some of these categories, we do give you an uncontracted Braille equivalent on the Braille display. This is to review letter reading practice, as well as to clarify what the TTS is saying, as it's not always clear. This is especially true when you're practicing contractions like OUNT, which the TTS will announce as OUNT. And then, of course, there's also OUND. So there certainly are instances where it's useful to see what it's requesting on the Braille display. With this first category, letters, there's really no way that we can prompt you for anything without giving it away. So this is speech only. I'll use space 4 to move down the list.
Signs and punctuation 212 list item.
Now this one did not announce speech only. So for signs and punctuation, it will actually spell out in uncontracted Braille what it is looking for. So if it is looking for a period, it will actually spell out the word period on the Braille display as well as asking for it in speech.
UEB literary numbers 312 list item.
We have UEB/literary numbers as well as
Nemeth numbers 412 list item.
Nimeth numbers, as most people in the US are still using Nimeth math.
Single character word signs 512 list item.
And now we get into contractions.
2 character short forms 612 list item. Word parts, contractions, 712 list item. Advanced short forms 812 list item. Elementary words, speech only, 912 list item.
And these last 4 categories are also speech only.
Secondary words, speech only, 1012 list item. Professional words, speech only, 1112 list item. Practice all, speech only, 1212 list item.
So the reason that these last 4 categories are speech only is that we want you to be able to enter these at whatever level of contracted Braille you are currently using. So the only requirement here is that these words are spelled correctly. And that, of course, is why we also cannot prompt you on the Braille display with these, because you could practice anything from uncontracted Braille to half contracted Braille to completely contracted Braille. So we can't prompt you with anything on the Braille display because it would absolutely give it away. Most of these categories actually require you to enter the correct Braille dots, but as I mentioned, this one requires only that you spell things correctly and isn't concerned with what contractions you use or don't. Okay, I'm going to go back up to advanced short forms.
Advanced short forms 812 list item.
And I'll press enter.
Advanced short forms practice. Type your answer and press enter to submit. Perceive. Receiving. Always. Declare.
So basically, I'm just typing my answer and pressing enter. I don't think it's going to come through Zoom, but there is a little ding sound to let me know that it is correct. Now I'll actually type one incorrectly.
Declare. Declare. The answer is declare. Press enter to continue.
So it gave me 3 chances to get it right. And once I failed, it actually showed me the correct answer on the Braille display, as well as announcing it. Clearly, if you just hear it in speech, it sounds like, of course, yes, the answer is declare, but it's actually showing it to me on the Braille display. So I know what the correct contraction, that it is supposed to be DCL. And it says press enter to continue so that you have a minute to review that if you want to do that. And so it doesn't rush you into that. I'll press enter.
Herself. Herself. Afternoon.
And I'm going to go ahead and press F4.
Number of questions, 5. Correct, 4. Incorrect, 1. Accuracy, 80%. Press enter to continue or space Z to exit.
As many of you probably know, F4 is the escape key, so that does get me out of the current practice session, gives me my current statistics, and gives me 2 options. I can either press enter to continue, which will take me back to the categories list, or I can press space Z to exit. As that is generally all there is to it, I'm going to go ahead and press space Z.
Braille Practice, B.
And I'm returned to the extras menu at the Braille Practice option.
Well, there you go. It's a brilliant application. And Jenny, I'm wondering if you could come in and kind of talk a little bit about what inspired the Braille Practice app, with the introduction of the Braille learning tables and a little history behind that.
That's a funny question because you did. No, actually, you asked. It was pretty much that simple. You asked
Really?
for it, and so yeah, pretty much. So we included the Braille learning tables, and those allow you to utilize the unit at whatever level of contracted Braille you are learning. So they are based on various lesson series and Braille tutorial courses. And so as you learn and as you pass different levels of these courses, there are certain Braille tables that go along with that Duxbury prepares. And we're able to operate the entire unit based on those learning tables. And so, yes, when we implemented those, Earle happened to say to me, it would be really good if we could actually practice, have some review and some practice. And I was like, I think we can do that. So I had emailed our developer and he goes, yeah, they have that in Korean, and I did know that, but I had forgotten that. And they even had some English practice because they also use English Braille in Korea. They learn both. And so he sent me the basic, and it just so happened that it was a collection of data. There's a certain way in the file that you enter the categories. And so I had to expand on it. I had to correct it. It was for the original English American Braille edition. So anyway, it was a good bit of work to prepare all of the data and make sure that it was correct. So if you find anything that is not correct, please let me know. But anyway, that's the history behind it. And it does give you sounds to let you know when you're right and wrong. And those did not come through Zoom. I did not think they would.
I heard them over here.
Yes, you would because it was playing on your local computer.
Thanks for that clarification.
But yes.
I heard it over here. Anyway, wow.
But they didn't come through on Zoom. I was pretty sure they wouldn't. So it's all good.
Cool. All right. Well, because TVIs, they know what curriculum to use as they're introducing people to contractions and things like that. And so they know how to set those up based on Braille curriculum, but the average Joe like me who came into UEB kicking and screaming because I'm an old timer,
Me too.
it's a lovely thing because I can sit on my own in private and kind of, it's kind of like a game to me to see if I can get it all right. Well, now one of the moments we've been waiting for is something we've been talking about for a while now, and it's finally here. All right, this section is on web browser version 2. And a lot of the commands have changed, and I think you're going to find that they make a lot of sense. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll jump into
File Manager,
the main
F.
menu here. And of course, right off the main menu, I could press the letter B to get into Web Tools. But of course, we can launch the web browser from anywhere by holding down the F1 key and pressing the letter B as in browser.
Task name, Web Browser V2. Starting Web Browser V2. https, selvisblv.com. Loading.
And the initial load takes a little bit longer
selvisblv.
than it does when you're actually in the browser session. And incidentally, yes, you can run 2 browser sessions. Unfortunately, I know there's a question that's going to come up. There is no way right now to run a multi-tab session in the same browser session. So let's go ahead and just kind of do a save from where the cursor is, which is at the top here.
selvisblv logo. Upcoming events link. Products 3 link. Accessories 3 link. Education hub link. More information 3 link. Support 3 link. Cart link. Blind and low vision accessible technology heading 1. Productivity at your fingertips heading 1. Explore our products link. Selvis translates to rainforests or jungles and symbolizes growth, resilience, and interconnected ecosystems. BLV stands.
So just a little bit on our webpage, selvisblv.com. And I thought for this presentation, I would go over to another website, a place that my wife Kelly and I just went to the other day, and we went to look at the menu. So I'll go ahead and do a enter U.
Open URL dialog.
To open the URL.
https, selvisblv.com edit combo box.
And in here, we've got selected the website that we're just on, and I'll just overwrite with that with Crooners, CROONER sign SMN for Minnesota.com.
Loading. Skip to content link. Home, Crooners Supper Club, croonersmn.com.
So here we are on the Crooners homepage, and we very specifically wanted to go read the menu. So since I knew that, I just did a space F.
Find dialog.
To do a search.
Find edit box.
And just typed in contracted Braille here.
Menu link.
And there's menu. I'll press enter on that.
Menu, Crooners Supper Club, croonersmn.com.
And of course, as with so many web pages out there, there's going to be navigation links across, right at the top of the page.
Top of page. Skip to content link.
And I'll just go ahead and press enter on the skip to content link. Another thing that did not work in version 1 of the browser.
Blank.
And I land on a blank line.
Our menu heading 1.
And this is our menu. I'll just do a save from cursor here.
Our menu heading 1. At Crooners, you'll enjoy a wide range of locally sourced supper club classics, from prime rib to Parmesan crusted walleye, prepared fresh daily. Dinner link. Drinks link. Dessert link. Dinner heading 2. A lighter note heading 3. Soup of the day V, LF heading 4. 710. Bread basket LF heading 4. Local artisan breads and butter.
So we hear that Crooners does a pretty decent job of structuring this web page using heading styles. And because I've done that, I'll just go ahead and jump to the top here.
Top of page. Skip to content visited link.
And my command to move forward by heading is enter with the letter H.
Our menu heading 1.
And it says our menu heading 1.
Dinner heading 2. A lighter note heading 3. Soup of the day, V, LF, heading 4.
And backspace is going to bring me the other direction in these headings.
A lighter note heading 3. Dinner heading 2. R menu heading 1.
And that is going to be kind of the paradigm throughout these different commands. And all these commands are listed right here in contextual help.
Help dialog. Move to last cell in row of table. Control Alt 4-6 list item.
And let me just go ahead and jump to the top
Open
here.
URL. Enter U list item.
And I'll just kind of quickly go down the list here. You can hear some of the commands that we've got.
Open. Enter a list item. Open new web session. Backspace. Save as. Space as list item. Downloads. Backspace 3. Refresh. Enter space R list. Exit. Space C list item. Select all. Enter A list item. Start selection. Enter B list item. Copy. Enter C list
A
item.
lot of these are
Copy address
the
bar.
same
Enter D list item.
as V1.
Copy focused link. Enter L. Add to clipboard. Space P list. Go to home page. Backspace. Enter H list. Go to previous page. Go to next page. Enter
As
P
you
list
move,
item.
it starts to change here. So go to next page is enter P. Go to previous page. Backspace P.
Go to previous heading. Backspace H list
And
item.
we've already experienced this previous heading.
Go to next heading.
Next
Enter A
heading,
list item.
Enter H.
Go to headings list. Backspace space H list
We
item.
can bring up our list of headings.
Go to previous link. Backspace K list item. Go to next link. Enter K list item.
And
Go to links list. Backspace space K list item.
K is our links command. So enter K to move forward through your links. Backspace K to move back.
Go to previous element. Space F3 or space 1-2 list item. Go to next element. F3. Go to previous form control. Backspace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 list. Go to next form control. Enter 1,
So
2,
you get the
3,
pattern.
4, 5, 6 list item.
So what I'm excited about is that Crooners actually uses headings to organize their website. And I'm going to go ahead and bail out of help here.
R menu.
And let me just kind of go backwards through here. I'm going to press the control key to the left of the space bar with the .1,
Go R menu heading 1.
and it brings me right to heading 1, which is our menu. And if I know that, I thought I saw that there was something called light fare at heading level 3 under the entrees. It was kind of a subcategory, just like with those commands we saw earlier in context sensitive help, alt with .3.
A lighter note heading 3.
And there it is. I jumped right to it. Let's see if what other .3.
Solids heading 3. Supper Club Classics heading 3. Pastas heading 3.
I want to go back,
Supper Club Classics heading 3.
and you hear that I revisit those
Solids heading 3.
different headings. And if I want to move by chunks of static text, I can use enter Q is the command for that.
Mixed greens. Tomato. Cucumber. Red.
It just makes it so much easier to get where we're going. Let's go back to the main menu,
File Manager. F.
B, to get into browser tools or web tools. And so I've got browser V2
Web browser V2.
at the
B.
top.
Google search. G. Wiki search. W. Web browser V1. E. BrailleSense Chat GPT. C.
And those are everything within the web tools folder. Now you'll notice that we kept browser V1. Again, it's for those folks who've gotten used to doing certain things with it until they get used to V2, which I am absolutely certain everybody will be able to do and have a way better experience using V2. So we're going to keep V2 in the optional add-ons folder because of the wide variation of things out there in the World Wide Web. When people encounter things, we hope that they will log them, report them, let us know so we can fix them on a global level so that other people don't have to deal with them. And that's where we will end the section on the web browser. All right, Jenny, your input, please. What do you think?
No, there's not much. That is generally how it works. Like I said, we streamline the keystrokes. You are able to do things like listen to embedded media now, which you used to have a lot of trouble with. You can now download from places like Google Drive and Dropbox. There were a lot of things that it did not want to let you do. But there is, so what he was explaining about it being available via the optional add-ons is that HTML has really unlimited variation here. And as much as we tried to test many different types of websites, there's no way that we could have caught them all. So we do think this is stable and it's ready for release, but we also do feel like you're probably going to find things because we can't visit every website in the world. So we did want to make this updatable without a firmware upgrade so that we can continue to work on it as you find things. So please don't think you're stuck until the next upgrade. If a website doesn't work for you, please report it to your regional office along with a log. If you don't know how to take one, your regional office will know how to take one. I say your regional office because I know that there are internationals present. For all of you in the United States, you should report this to Selvis BLV. For anyone else, please report it to your international dealer from whom you purchased the unit.
United States and Canada.
Sorry, yes, North America. North America.
That's right. Okay, so the next thing we are going to talk about is the something else that's been long awaited, and that is the word processor. Is there anything you want to say to set this one up, Jenny?
No, not really. I think I kind of did in the video, so.
Okay, sounds good. Here we go.
Our word processor has received a major overhaul with this upgrade, including an update to the Polaris Office engine, which results in much greater stability between that and the Braille viewer. And many of you who have used our devices for a long time know that that has been an issue in the past, especially when using extensive formatting. And speaking of advanced formatting, we've actually added a lot more of it with this upgrade. So I'm going to move down to Office Tools.
Office Tools, T.
And I'll press enter here.
Word Processor, W.
And the word processor is the top item, so again, I'll press enter.
Top of document.
And I'm placed at the top of a blank document as usual. Remember too that you can also open the word processor from anywhere on the unit with F1W. So I'm just going to give this a generic title.
Test. Document.
And if I wanted to, I could actually select that and apply a heading
Top
to
of
it.
document test.
So I'll start my selection.
Start selection.
And I'll end my selection with my cursor placement. And I will use backspace, space, enter S to open the style dialog.
Style dialog. Set style, normal 116 list item.
And I'll use space 4 to move down.
No spacing 26, heading 1316 list item.
And that's what I'm looking for, so I'll press enter. And I'll now go to the end of the document.
End of document.
And with this upgrade, one of the things that we can now do is to create bullets and numbering. We've always been able to preserve what was there and add to it if it was already in existence, but now we can actually create it. So I'll press F2.
File, F, pull down menu.
And I'm going to use space 4 to move up.
Layout, L, pull down menu.
I actually wrapped around to the bottom, and I'm going to press enter on layout.
Font, F, dialog backspace enter F menu item. Style, S, dialog space backspace enter S menu item.
And you can hear as I move through these that it's announcing the shortcut that you can use to get to it from within the menu, and also the hotkey that you can use to invoke it from directly within the document. If I move down one more time.
Bullets and numbering, B, dialog space backspace enter B menu item.
I'll press enter here.
Type, bullet 1-3 combo box.
So I can create bullets.
Numbering 2-3 combo box.
Numbering.
Multi-numbering 3-3 combo box.
Or multi-numbering. I'm going to go back to bullet.
No bullet 1-3 combo box.
Now I'm going to tab forward with F3.
Bullet, filled circle 1-6 list item.
And now I can choose the type of bullet I would like to use. So I could use a filled circle.
Filled square 2-6 list item.
A filled square.
Filled diamond 3-6 list item. Check mark 4-6 list item. Arrow 5-6 list item. Diamond 6-6 list item.
I'm going to press space F3 to shift tab.
Type, bullet 1-3 combo box.
And let's go to numbering.
Numbering 2-3 combo box.
And again, F3.
Numbering 1-2-3 1-6 list item.
And I'll move down.
Comma, 2-6 list item.
So it's not reading this in full because I have punctuation turned off, but this looks like an ellipsis.
3-6 list item.
This looks like a double dash.
III 46 list item.
And of course, we have our Roman numerals.
ABC 56 list item.
We have ABC.
III 66 list item.
And we have a different type of Roman numeral. I'm going to go to the top with space 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 1, 6 list item.
And this is what I'd like to use, so I'll press enter here. And now on my Braille display, it shows me the number 1. So I'm just going to really type generic text.
This is number 1.
I press enter and I can see the number 2 on my Braille display. I can change the level using Control with dot 3 and Alt with dot 6. So if I press Alt with dot 6,
Level 2.
it announces level 2 and now shows me the letter A on my Braille display. So just to put some text in here,
This is letter
and I'll press enter.
A.
And it shows me B on the Braille display. And if I want to go back up to level 2, I can do Control with dot 3.
Level 1.
And again, we're just going to type this is number 2. This just makes sure it's all accurate and it's actually matching what it is that I'm typing. Okay, now I'm going to press enter.
2.
And it shows me the number 3 on the Braille display. And as is the case with Microsoft Word, if you continue to press enter, you're going to go out one level until you have exited the numbered list. So if I'd pressed enter at the letter B, it would have gone to letter C. If I'd done it again at that point, it would have gone back to the number 2. And if I'd done it once more, as I'm going to do right now, it's actually going to exit the numbered list.
Enter.
We've also added the ability to insert tables and footnotes, and also to navigate tables in a way that we could not before. So again, I'm going to press F2.
File, F, pull-down menu.
This time, I'll press I for insert.
Insert from file, I, dialog enter I menu item.
And this time, I'm also just going to press the shortcut for table, which is A.
Insert table dialog. Number of columns, edit box.
So now it's asking me for the number of columns and the number of rows that I would like this table to be. So let's enter 3 columns, and I'm going to press F3 to tab forward.
Number of rows, edit box.
And I'll just type the number 4. And I'll press enter here because I don't need to enter any further information.
Successfully insert table.
And now I am placed in row 1, column 1 of my table. Now, if I were creating a real document, I'm sure I would have probably entered another titled heading above this table, but for the sake of demonstration, I have not done so. The first thing I want to talk about is navigation, because I will need to navigate as I enter data, so I want you to understand what it is that I'm doing as I do that. So there are a couple of ways that you can navigate. You can use your traditional space 1 and space 4 and space 3 and space 6 and space 2 and space 5. That will navigate you anywhere in the document, and so will move in and out of the table as you traverse those boundaries. However, we also have table-specific navigation, and there are some really interesting things about this. So if you use Control and Alt with the usual navigation keys, so Control Alt 1 and 4 to move by line, and Control Alt 3 and 6 to move by column, you can navigate within the table specifically. So if I press Control Alt with the dot 4,
Column 1, row 2, blank.
I'm moving down by row.
Column 1, row 3, blank. Column 1, row 4, blank.
But once I get past row 4, I can't go any further. This type of navigation will not allow me to traverse beyond the table boundaries, and it makes it very clear where those boundaries are. So let me actually try to go now to the left with Control-Alt-3. And I can't because I am at column 1, so there's actually nowhere to go. So let's go ahead and move back to the top of the table, which, guess what, I can do with Control, Alt, and 1, 2, 3.
Column 1, row 1, blank.
And I'll actually enter some data that's a little less than generic this time. So let's pretend that I did actually make a title for this table, and if I had done, it would have been Home Inventory. So I will create 3 columns, and I will create Product, Price, and Purchase Date. So I will go ahead and type product in column 1, row 1. Now I'm going to use Control-Alt-6 to move to column 2.
Column 2, row 1. blank.
And I'll type price. And then I'm going to do the same thing.
Column 3, row 1, blank.
And we'll type purchase date.
Purchase.
Now I'm going to use Control-Alt-4 to move down one line.
Column 3, row 2, blank.
So as you heard, it placed me directly below my previous position. So we do actually have the equivalence of home and end, especially if you're going to have a table with a lot of columns, you're going to want to utilize this. So if I press Control-Alt with dots 1 and 3, I will go to the beginning of the line, and Control-Alt with dots 4, 6 will take me to the end of the line. So let's do Control-Alt 1, 3.
Column 1, row 2, blank.
So now I'm in the second row, and I can enter Roomba, and we'll go ahead Control-Alt-3.
Column 2, row 2,
and I'm ready
blank.
for the price. So let's do $3.99,
Column 3, row 2, blank.
and we'll do December
December,
2023. And again, we'll move down with Control-Alt-4.
column 3, row 3, blank.
And this time I'll just do it backwards since I'm here. So this is also December 23.
December, comma.
And I'm going to do Control-Alt-3 to move left a column.
Column 2, row 3, blank.
And now I'm in the price column. So this time I will do 1100. And again, we'll do Control-Alt-3.
Column 1, row 3, blank.
And this one we'll call Smart Oven.
Smart.
So now if I move up using Control-Alt-1,
Column 1, row 2, Roomba.
it announces what's in each cell. So now I can do Control-Alt-6.
Column 2, row 2, 399. Column 3, row 2, December 2023.
And if I want to move past the table, I'm just going to press Space 4.
Column 1, row 3, Smart Oven. Column 2, row column 1, column 2, column 3, blank, blank, blank. Column 3, row 4, blank.
So what you heard there was me traversing outside the table and then using Space 1 to go back into it. And when I returned to it, it announced the column and row.
Blank, blank.
But when it announces nothing but blank, you know you have exited the table. We do have several other additions that I don't have time to demonstrate here. As I mentioned, we have the ability to insert footnotes. You also now have the ability to save defaults for just about everything: fonts, styles, paragraph and page layouts, etc. So you can create your own document templates. For those of you who have not used our products, we've had the ability to create things like bold, italics, and underlining for a long time, also heading styles, etc. So we've just added a lot more advanced formatting here. So you really can now create publishable documents directly from the BrailleSense.
That is awesome. I'm so excited about this. I always learn so much from you, Jenny, when you do these demonstrations of features I haven't yet used.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing.
No. I mean, there's a lot to it. Do you think that is, we've covered 4 major improvements and additions to the firmware. Is that pretty much the sum and substance of everything you want to talk about today? And
There are a lot of small changes. It's hard to know which ones. You did mention the AI for the podcast search. We also did rearrange the interface of the web radio for those of you who use the Sense player. The web radio now looks a lot more like the Sense player in the BrailleSense, so I feel like it's a lot more intuitive and easy to use. And there are a lot of just small additions, I guess. It's hard to know. The release note is 8 pages long. Let me just say that. So I don't even know if I remember. Oh, we added compressed mode. Compressed mode. I
Oh.
cannot believe, yes, that we both forgot to mention compressed mode. And I know that that's something that many, many of you have been waiting for. So yes, that is also included in this update.
Why don't you talk a little bit about what that is and how it came into existence on the BrailleSense?
Sure. We used to have it on the U2. So compressed mode, for those of you who actually use any of the like the NLS e-readers, this is similar to reflow mode. And basically what it's going to do is to take out extra spacing that is related to Braille formatting because they're usually very specifically formatted to 40 cells. And if you're using a 32 cell device, especially, you're going to end up with these really short lines. And then you'll have a carriage return. And so basically what this does is remove all those spaces so you can read continuously and utilize all of your Braille display. And it just kind of rearranges the document to make that happen.
We hope you have enjoyed this online presentation. Hosted, produced, and distributed by Selvis BLV, proud North America distributors of HIMS blindness and low vision technology. If you have questions about any of the content you've heard on today's program, please feel free to reach out by phone at area code 512-837-2000. Press option 1 for technical support and option 2 for sales. Alternatively, drop us an email at support@selvisblv.com or sales@selvisblv.com. If you would like to subscribe to our very low traffic but very informative announcements list, you may do so by filling out the form found on our homepage at selvisblv.com. Thank you for your participation and support.